We're doing a ban on treasure boxes, and I'll tell you why. Because you know how we all like to sneak into creators that we don't like and pinch their coins and send them on to someone else? Well, a certain creator who shall not be named but was in the live yesterday has decided that that's what they're going to do in our lives. So if we cannot put treasure boxes up just to, you know, annoy them, that would be superb. So if a oh Laura, I'm used to it, love, I'm used to it. Oh no, Flick. So isn't it always the way? So if a mod could put that information and pin it, please. Oh, it's incredibly childish. So you know what we like to do here, we like to fight with fire. So and unfortunately the mods are likely to be working overtime this evening, because somebody has said that they're somebody that I don't know who is going to troll the live. So I'm on my best behaviour because I was, good evening Moon Willow, I was mass reported yesterday. Thank you, Marita. Unfortunately, we don't think like they do. So we don't. Hi Susie, hi Anne. We don't I did. Hang on. Exactly. We don't think like that. So it's very hard to predict this kind of behaviour because we don't think like that. Hi Courtney. Oh, thank you, LJ. So, first off, we know we had the person in that said, how dare you block me, was on their live earlier. Thank you, Cubster, darling. Was on their live earlier telling them that they don't allow people to have opinions on their platform and to block them. So the irony was quite, or the irony was ironing. Thank you, Flick. It's not a word, but you know what I mean. So I thought that was quite amusing. I thought that might make you smile. We're going to touch on Alphaba's behaviour yesterday as well. I don't know whether anybody saw. There's a lovely woman on here called Jackie S. Called Jackie S. Who, and I hate saying it because it's not important, but she's a trans woman. Yeah. And she was talking about Alphaba, I think. Alphaba decided that would be really funny to laugh. Thank you, Joe. Hiya, Glynis. To laugh and say that Jackie didn't pass. And was a granny. Yeah. And then claimed that they weren't being transphobic because they hadn't misgendered Jackie. Where to go with that? Hiya, Jem. Yeah, it was deeply unpleasant, and it made a lot of us. She's lovely. She's lovely. She's very down to earth. Yeah, Flick. Like I said, I don't even know where to go with it. I was absolutely. What do you say to that? Thank you, Nana Bear. What do you say to that? How can I put this? So if somebody says to you, Alphaba, And I'm going to do everything you did now, and I'm going to call you she, her. If somebody said to you, Alphaba, that you don't pass, you would take that as a transphobic slur, right? Because you have a literal no idea what being transphobic means. But if we go on the way you look at the world, you were 100% transphobic towards Jackie yesterday. That is based on your perception. Thank you, Nana Bear. Right? So, I'm going to call you her, I'm going to call you Alphaba, and I'm going to tell you you don't pass. So if I'm transphobic in saying that, so are you. Now what? Come back at me, Alphaba. What you got to say to that? Or are you just going to go to name calling again? Name calling. The argument of the lost. Because I'm not calling you any names. I'm telling you, you don't pass. But I'm calling you Alphaba, and I'm not misgendering you. So if I'm transphobic, so are you. You really, really need to engage your brain before you open your mouth. Right? And treat people in the manner in which you would like to be treated. And you wonder why people are camptoing you and saying stuff about you. That's why. You absolutely demonstrated why yesterday. But I'll tell you what Jackie has that you don't have. The respect of a lot more people than you do. Okay? Now I'm gonna mention a very touchy subject, and it is coming with a trigger warning. And I'm not going to dwell on the topic, but I am going to dwell on what was said. So I was shared a clip today, and then I was sent to the full unedited live, and there was a thank you Kay. There was a lovely lady. I say lovely because she's a veteran. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, she's a thank you, Ray. She's a veteran. And she, unfortunately, due to the military actions that she was involved in, is also an amputee. Now, there was a debate going on. You're all right, Kay, love. There was a debate going on in the boxes. Naturally, it was in Delusive Angie's live. Although, I am going to give props to Delusive Ange, because I'll call it as I say it. Thank you, Cubster. Thank you, Catherine. I'll call it as I say it, right? Angie did say to this person, that's wrong, you can't say that. So fair play. It's the one thing she's done right. So I'm sure we've all heard of Torian. Yeah, Nana Bear, yeah. Torian is often in Delusive Angie's lives. Thank you, Catherine. And is quite often controversial. Says what she means what she says. Thank you, Catherine. And, you know, like her or dislike her. Are you one of the team you trolls, darling? Personalised snow globes. Perhaps you'd like to go and trot round one. Bye-bye. So yeah. Honestly, they're all out tonight. Good evening, Di. Hey, Katie. Hi, Angie. So, thank you, Ray. Thank you. So yeah, Torian. She's quite often in Delusive Angie's lives, and she speaks her mind. Very rarely do I agree with her, but you know, up until last night or today, I had respect for her because she was someone that spoke as she saw, right? Thank you, Dream. Thank you, Ray. I'm trying to word this very carefully, sorry. I am getting my words out, but I'm just trying to be very careful. So, I don't know what the topic of discussion was. Thank you, Ray. He says at the bar, Willow. Thank you, Cubs to love. So, yeah. The conversation was going along, as it were. I think it spilled over from somewhere else into Delusive Angie's live. You know how she picks up the tail end of beef. So Torian was in the live and was speaking to this Sam. I did ask the person which one? Sorry, Willow, which one's ranting now? There's so many of them. Good evening, Tara. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Catherine. Oh, Angie. Ugh. Sorry, wait a minute. No worries, Froggy, don't worry. I think this was last night, Angie, or it was this morning. I'm not entirely sure. I got sent the clip this morning. Good evening, Diane. Hi, Lee. You all right, darling? Was that what... Oh, honest to God. Thank you, Cherry Blossom. You all right, Donna? So, yeah, Torian was telling this veteran who lost a limb serving her country that she had probably unalived minors. So last night, thank you. And they were talking about the protests, right? Okay. Yeah, and that in doing so, she'd got her just desserts because she'd lost a limb. Sorry, it makes me feel slightly sick. Now, I've got friends who are either married to service personnel, who are retired, thank you, name here, who are retired service personnel, who are amputees for various reasons, not necessarily military. And what Torian said, I mean, I always think, you know, there are disgusting things get said, and then somebody goes as low as to say that. It actually made me think, bring back national service. Thank him, Mandy. Good evening, Nanopod. It made me think, specifically for those people. So, Torian. First of all, you made an accusation to a veteran with zero proof. None whatsoever. You don't know that veteran. You don't know anything about her. Nothing. And you have made an assumption based on your own preconceived prejudice. Right? Now, if anybody else made an assumption about you, what would you base that on? Thank you, Angie. What would you base that on? What would you call that person? I'll leave you to insert the appropriate response. The woman that you were talking to has enabled you, and all of those before her, has enabled you to sit in the box on an international stage and have your absolutely disgusting opinions. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a mother, right? As am I. Do you have any understanding of how the military works? Or are you listening to media or Googling? Thank you, name here. Right, Torian? Thank you, borderline. Torian, I'm talking to Torian, who, if she comes in here, is going to be instantly blocked, as will anybody else that decides they want to come in and challenge what I'm saying. Not interested. What you said to that veteran who gave a limb, who potentially has seen people that she will never see again due to the circumstances under which she was serving, and you said it was just, it was justifiable, she had been judged for unaliving minors. Something you couldn't possibly know, could you? So you made an assumption about her military career. You then decided that you were fit to pass judgment on said military career. Who the F do you think you are? I couldn't give a toss what your political leanings are. I don't care who you support. I don't care what you say. I don't care what personality you have. Thank you, Katie. I don't care what your personality is. I don't care what your character is. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about what colour skin you have, what your religion is. Not interested in any of that. What I care about is what's in your head that you allowed to come out of your mouth and disrespect someone who's done more for their country than you ever will. If you don't understand what the military are doing, wherever they're serving, ask. Because on this occasion, your ignorance made you look exceptionally cruel. You can't speak on this app without consequences, and for some reason that I cannot fathom and really wish I didn't feel, I feel utterly compelled to come and speak to people like you. Because what you said was utterly abhorrent. Now let's, for argument's sake, assume that somebody in your family goes to serve in the military. And let's assume God forbid that they end up in a very similar situation to Sam, are you then going to say to that family member, got what you deserved then, didn't you? Because I don't care if you had been drinking. I don't care if you hadn't yet taken any medication you may be on. I don't care if you were having a bad morning. I would never, ever think to say anything like that to anyone. Never mind a veteran who has had to come back from being an extremely active person, putting their life on the line, and then having to adapt to a completely new life and having utter disrespect thrown at her by someone who has zero idea of what it is to lay their life down for someone else. Your words disgust me. You absolutely did not and should not have the right to share any platform with a veteran or a serving military personnel. You don't have the right. What have you done for your country, Torian? To the woman that was in the box, genuinely, hand on heart, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for doing something 90% of people like Torian would never do, because they have some sort of moral dislike or disdain for what you do or did. Just thank you. There are more of us out there that respect veterans and the military than there are that don't. So please don't think that they speak for all of us. Torian, I know exactly what your response to this is going to be, and I don't care. Because after what you said to that lovely woman, your words are so meaningless to me, you may as well not bother saying them. If I could have minus respect for you, I would. Have I judged you for what you said to that woman? Absolutely. Have I made a decision about your character based on what you said to that woman? Oh, hell yes. Do I think you have the right to say what you want to say? Absolutely. Do I think that that should come without consequences? No. Have you ever been to a war-torn country? Do you know who that person was fighting against? Do you know what that enemy had done themselves? Or were you just rage baiting like your good friend Delusive? There is no excuse for what you said. I honestly had no issue with you at all. Didn't like what you said. Absolutely uphold your right to say it. And so did the veteran in the box. When will you people ever understand that your words don't just hurt the person you were talking to, but damage the people in the audience watching and trigger the people in the audience watching? PTSD, CPTSD, and everything else that comes with it is very, very real. So for a veteran, serving personnel, families of, friends of, who have had the absolute horror of being injured and, God forbid, not coming home at all, do you have any idea what your words will have done to them and how disrespected they will have felt? You people, and by you people I mean you are the creators on here that say what you want without care. I am not going away. So get used to talking about me. Get all your insults lined up, because I'm sure I've not heard any of them before. And know that I won't join any boxes. Don't want to have a discussion. Not up for debate. Because I have zero interest in anything you have to say. Because when I call you out on the things that you've said, it's because I think they are so vile that your opinion means nothing to me. Okay? So you won't bait me into going anywhere. Nobody telling me Torian's talking about you is going to get me to come and speak to you. I have no desire to listen to you or tell you any more than I'm telling you now. That's why when creators come in here, when I'm talking about them, they get instantly blocked. Because we in here don't want to hear from you. We in here have already formed our opinion. Okay? So you take your dummy, right? Your toys, stick them in your playpen, whatever. Say what you want to say. And no, I can't hear you. And even more, I don't care. I heard something else today, that apparently the Click of All had a phone call, and I hate that. Thank you, Yorkshire. The Click of All had a phone call, and they're all going to stop. They're all going to stop saying nasty things. Well, did you not all say that about 6 weeks ago? Did you not all say that about 6 weeks ago? That you were going to stop? Thank you, Lelanie. You're all going to stop. You were all going to stop. It had gone too far. People didn't like the drama, yada, yada, yada. And then it all started again. Well, I'm sorry, but most of you run your platforms on drama. So where would you be without it? Exactly. For those that didn't hear the start of that, it's a very, very brief synopsis, but Torian said something absolutely disgusting to a veteran who lost a limb. And it's so vile that I'm not even going to direct you to where it is. Hiya, Becky. I'm not even going to direct you to where it is. Because it's so upsetting. I absolutely agree with you, Donnie. Totally agree. Thank you, Amber. Ali, I can't not. That's the thing. Thank you, Mandy. I can't not. I can't. I don't understand where my mind is at the moment. But I cannot. It's going to sound really silly, thank you, Becky, but I can't keep my mouth shut. I know how silly that sounds. Good night, Flick, darling. I hope your headache goes, darling. You're not late, Andrea. Don't worry, darling. I can't not say anything. I don't know. Toboggans. I don't know why I feel like I cannot keep quiet, and I think I must be driving my mods potty. But I hear it and I can't keep quiet about it. Absolutely, Emma. Absolutely. I'd get out of her way as well, Froggy. I don't know what it is. I've promised Dazza we're going to do a fun live though, and I can't let Dazza down. But I heard that and I was sent it, and I just my heart broke for that woman, and please don't make any mistakes. She was not taking it lying down, do you know what I mean? She was a very feisty veteran, and she certainly bit back, but it's the people in the live, the people in the comments, and like I said, props to Delusive Angie, because she did tell Torian that was an awful thing to say. Oh yeah, Froggy, I know. So props to Delusive Ange, call it like I say it. You know, she did tell her. No, Andrea, I'm not getting political. Yeah, I did ask the person that sent me the clip to reach out to her and tell her that I would be talking to her about talking about her. I don't know her page. Does it help with views? Honestly, right, okay. Something you need to know about me. I don't actually, evening Wendy, I don't know whether I've just said that. Evening Betty, I don't actually care, think or calculate about views and platforms, and I don't know, and I honestly not bothered. Hi Janine, I'm not bothered. So if I talk about someone, I talk about them. If it sends people to their page, it sends people to their page. I just hope that people know that I'm telling the truth, because I don't ever say anything I can't back up. Good evening, Nessa. How are you doing, darling? It's all right. I'm just keeping an eye. I'm very aware that somebody has. Good. I'm good. Somebody has decided that I'm some sort of threat to their platform, or they're having hi Mrs. Maine Coon, or they're having they don't like hurty words, and so they are actively organising an attack on my page. Thank you, Global, and on this live in particular. So it was a vile Mandy. I have spoken about it. It was vile. I did, Nessa, yeah. Honestly, and yet I'm expect that the things that Torian said, I doubt she got a restriction for. Make it make sense. I don't know. Who was it? Sorry, Valiant. Oh yes, Moon Willow, I know. It's nuts, Nessa. It's nuts. Me and Willow, do you know who was in here last night? Who came in and who was oh, Sarah, 5 followers. Oh, okay. The mods will be all over it, Valiant. Please don't worry too much. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Amber. See? All over it. Block that one that just came in as well, please. Something that Torian said to Sam. I tell you what, Alicia, if you're in here to defend Torian, right, I have no problem with you at all. I have a lot of respect for you. But if you're going to defend Torian, I really don't want to hear it. It's all right, Janine. Who is that? Right. Thank you, Emma. See what I mean? We've got all the trolls coming in. Not Alicia, but we've got all the trolls coming in, right? Thank you, Crazy. Okay. I don't personally have a problem with Alicia, I've got to say. I'm just not... I don't have a problem with you, Alicia, sorry. I didn't mean for anyone to block you either, sorry. I have literally no worries with you, and you weren't actually saying anything from what I could tell. But what Torian said to that veteran, Alicia, was absolutely vile. And I gave props to Delusive Angie because she did call it out. She did say to Torian that you can't say those things, etc. Right? And I understand the upset with people about war and how, you know, innocent people get hurt, etc. But to tell that poor veteran, that woman, that she basically got what she deserved. I know people say this is just an app and it's just words and it's all of this, that and the other. But if people are getting their bills paid by people on this app, right, then they're getting their bills paid by real people. And if real people are paying your bills, then real people are being affected by what you say. Yeah? And I will not, even as a very small creator, sit here and say nothing. I won't do it. I can't do it. Thank you, Miss Maincoon. I know people who are partners of serving military personnel, people who are amputees. I know these people personally, right? And to have Torian sit there and say that to somebody makes me question how her mind works. I don't know who that was, but they had no followers, so they're out. I don't understand how people's minds work. I don't get it, and I understand that sometimes it's said for rage bait and clickbait and all of this stuff, which, you know, astonishes me, but I understand it. But that was not rage bait. That was outright cruel. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Mancoon. That was outright nasty. And there's no justification for it at all. I don't care what anyone says to me. There is no justification for telling an amputee, thank you, for telling an amputee who's become an amputee because of their military service that they deserve what they got because they've unalived minors, which she has absolutely nothing to base that on. No evidence at all. And do you know what? I know a lot of veterans would just let that slide. They'd just go, whatever. I can't. because I know how that's affected people. I know how that's affected people in the audience, the viewers, the people watching from the outside. I know what it's done to them. So, if I don't say anything, does that not make me just as bad? Thank you, Mrs. Mancoon. Does that not make me just as bad if I let that slide? And believe me, Alicia, if you're still in here, I call out anyone and everyone. I'm not allied to anybody. I don't go in people's boxes. I don't start drama. That's the thing. I don't start drama, right? I don't open my boxes for everybody to have a free-for-all. 9 times out of 10, if I'm talking about you, I'll block you because I don't care what you have to say. I'm not interested in a debate with somebody that says that to a veteran. I don't care. I don't care. There is no justification whatsoever, right? I've gone after plenty of people on this app. I often go after people that people like. I get mass reported. I get all sorts of people coming and insulting me, insulting my intelligence, my appearance, my weight, right? I don't care. It's not going to make me stop. So if a bigger creator comes in here, if somebody goes and talks about me and bitches about me on the other side of TikTok, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I run my community the way I run my community, and I'll tell you something else. The money I get from this app goes straight back into my community, right? I don't use anybody else's money to fund my lifestyle. Okay? There was a person yesterday whose wheelchair had broken. I was seriously tempted to buy them a new one until he let me know that he'd got an alternative sorted. If not buy him a new one, to get him to rent a new one, to give him the money to be able to do that. Okay? And we have helped other people. I am not going to be held accountable or to a standard by somebody that says the worst of the worst on this app. And I'm sorry if people don't like that. No, that's wrong. I don't care if you don't like that. Hiya, Tess. Thank you, Mandy. I can't. And do you know what makes me laugh? Is the fact that the trolls come in here and try and disrupt the live tells me I'm hitting close to home. Because you only respond to something when you actively dislike it. Thank you, Yorkshire. You only ever respond to something if it's struck a nerve. In my opinion. Thank you, Kath. Right. I've got 17.9k followers. I'm nobody on here. Absolutely nobody. Absolutely nobody. Yes, I will do, Kyle. Thank you. I'm nobody on here. I've got a very, very, very small platform. Very, very small. But do you know what I have noticed? It's building slowly. So what I'm doing is resonating with somebody. Thank you, Pam. It's resonating with somebody and it's resonating with people. There are very few people on here calling out people who are bullies or who say the wrong thing and who affect so many other people. That's my thing, right? They affect so many other people, and those people haven't got the numbers to go live, and those people don't have the reach. And I don't have a big reach, but I do have reach, right? And when you disrespect a veteran like that, I don't care what the reason is. I don't care if you've got personal experience, I don't care. To tell a veteran that they are missing a limb because they've unalived children, so they've got their just desserts. There is no justification for that at all. None whatsoever. There's nothing that Torian could say at this point. Nothing. So. Torian, Sal. So I'm sure people have gone back and said, people are talking about Torian, etc. Do you know, I don't have the capacity to care. I really don't. I care about my audience. I care about the people who are watching. That's all I care about. I don't care about big creators. Because I don't trust them. Just don't trust them. What is happening to the world? Where has all the humanity gone? Why are we so hateful towards each other? I don't understand. She won't be, Pam. She won't be. She'll justify it. She'll justify it in some. She'll justify it in some way. I don't know what the justification is. But what I don't do is look at a backstory, because to me, what's the point? Misdirected anger. Was that what Alicia said? Torian was angry. Right. Yeah, Pam, same. Torian was angry. About what? Something going on somewhere else. So she shouted at a veteran and said that's the veteran, because she was angry at what's happening in Gaza, I'm assuming. Or in many, many other places in the world, like Ukraine. Is that what it was? She's angry about that, so she said it to a veteran. And that's the reason. Is that a reason? Seriously? How does that justify saying that to someone who wasn't there doing the things that you're accusing her of doing? I'm sorry, make that make sense. Torian is angry because of what's going on in the rest of the world, right? As are an awful lot of us. Wow. That's amazing. Thank her. Crazy. Right? Oh, it is, Betty. It's on its last legs. So, Torian is angry about what's going on in the rest of the world. And takes it out on a veteran who lost a limb. Okay. Right, okay. I'm really angry. Hang on just a sec. I'm really angry that Alphaba was transphobic towards another trans woman yesterday. So I'm going to go and take it out on my husband. And then when he says, oh my God, what's wrong? I'm just going to say, don't worry about it. It's misdirected anger. What? How? How does that work? If you can't channel your own anger to whom you are angry with, don't take it out on anyone else. No. Jenny, no. Absolutely not. Shall I tell you why? Because my son's girlfriend, her friend's father, because he wouldn't play ball with the invading force, you know the country I mean, Ukraine, he wouldn't play ball with the invading force, he was taken by the very same people you've just said, and he was unalived in the middle of a forest, and they never found where he was. They were never able to bring him back home. So if Torian is angry with what's happening in Gaza, Ukraine, whatever, that does not give her the right to say to Sam, who lost a limb fighting, that she deserves what she got because she's unalived children, which is what she said. If you've been a country that is being invaded and that other side is committing absolute atrocities against your people, would I expect you to have respect for them? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Would I expect you to direct the anger that you have against those people committing atrocities to a member of the armed forces from Switzerland? No. That makes no sense to me. Maybe it's me, maybe it's the way my brain works, but that makes... Your anger is towards the people that are doing the wrong thing. It's not towards people who have nothing to do with the wrong thing you're angry about. So, is it me? Am I missing something? Genuinely, am I missing something? Because I am all for being educated. I genuinely am. My dislike for the opposing forces in Ukraine, I have to be careful what I say because I can get bananaed. My dislike is right up there because I know what they're doing. But does that give me the right then to mouth off at somebody from Switzerland who's never stepped foot in Ukraine? Please tell me I'm not going mad. Please tell me I'm not going mad. I feel like I'm going nuts. I'm trying to apply common sense and human decency. I don't blame her, Kyle. I don't blame her. Honestly, I don't blame her. What's happening over there, I wish I could say what I think, but what's happening over there makes me want to scream. Right? And my son has offered to go and fight on the Ukrainian side. And he is willing to do that. And I am absolutely 100% supportive of that decision. I know what they're doing. I know what they are. I know the cost the Ukrainian people are being made to pay. And it's not being reported on. And it's... Oh, Pam, honestly. Exactly. That's what I mean. I don't... Oh. See, this is such... But I'm not going to shy away from dealing with difficult topics. I can't. That's awful, Anne-Marie. Yeah, of course, Glynis. Of course. I'm just... Do you know what? I'm going to stop. But I can't shy away from stuff because it makes people feel uncomfortable. In fact, people need to have uncomfortable discussions in order to bring the debate forward. You don't move it on and settle differences and understand everybody else's side. Otherwise, this utter hatred is going to permeate through generations, and it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop. This is what I'm trying to say. Difficult conversations are that. But I just want people to reacquire common sense. That would be lovely. If people could reacquire common sense, I can go back to doing quiz nights and talking about Jet's Nigerian prince. That would be brilliant. That's what I want to do. That's all I'd love to do that. Really would. So if people could stop saying incredibly stupid things on the internet, then that would be great. Exactly. I'm so glad. Sometimes I think I'm seriously losing the plot because I'm at that age where I walk into a room, forget why I was there. But when did common sense become a precious commodity? Oh, Miss Boo Boo, do you know what? I look at people and I just think I'm so glad I'm the age I am and not any younger. I know that sounds terrible, but the world is such an intolerant place at the moment. And it is literally causing destruction. And so if we can't talk to each other about really awful stuff, thank you, then we don't move everything on, do we? From see, I don't direct hate towards anybody. I might come across as very angry, right? Hi, Inspector. But there's no hate here. I want Torian to think about what she said and who she said it to, because there was no need. She absolutely has the right to voice her opinion, but to take her anger out on somebody that has nothing to do with and then pass judgment on that person, you can't do that, and then make excuses for it. You can't do that. You really can't do that. It's wrong, and I understand it gets people's tensions rise and all that stuff, but that's when we have to talk. You know, when you're at the most, when you're as tense and as heightened as that, that's when you need to start talking and not stop. Otherwise, awful things happen, and it's wrong. I wouldn't say I'm black and white when I see things, but I do see things with common sense. I'm old school. Yeah, okay. I think it's... Do you know, this app would be so lovely. It would be so lovely if two things happened. They took away the ability to gift, and they actually upheld the community guidelines. This would be a wonderful place to build a community. It really would. Hi, Carrie. Yeah, completely back to basics. Yeah. If they did those two things, then, because they're even on this app, there is 2-tier, whatever it is, because there are some people that do stuff, and you're not late, love, do and say stuff on here but are untouchable, And then there's people who do and say stuff on here and get violations, strikes and bananas. And it seems to be the people with the followers and the numbers and the income that get left alone, and the people who aren't doing anything wrong are the ones that get attacked. I totally agree with that, Gem. And hi, Shanice. Yeah, exactly, Nessa. And unfortunately, CLA is a really, really good example of that right now. She's lost 6 accounts. She's not got the money she had before. I know. She's not got the money she had before. Therefore, she's realising she hasn't got the protection that she had before. And she's beginning to understand now. And not that I think that that's going to change the way she approaches things, but she's beginning to understand. Oh, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? Hi, Marguerite. Can you imagine how many people we could support? It would be phenomenal. That's insanity. That's insanity, Tubbs. I can't, do you know, I've literally got no words. You mod cam 2 and we had a live band for content, but the person you were cam 2ing didn't get a banana. That's insanity. That's insanity. Ugh. Sometimes I think, wouldn't it be great to have 1,000 or 2,000 people in a room, right? And have that pulling power with whoever runs whatever algorithm or whatever. And then I could say exactly what I liked in the way I say stuff. And then I think, good evening, Mr. Alex. And then I think, would I actually want that though? Literally, would I? Thank you, Kay. Would I want that? Do I want to reach more people and get them to help them to understand that what they hear isn't that what they hear is not okay. Hi, Squeaky. And if they've been affected by that, they are justified. Would I like to reach more people? Absolutely. Oh, hiya, Ginger. You all right, love? Hi, Griff. I don't know. I've had people come in here, Betty, and who have followed certain creators, and I've spoken about, you know, an issue one evening with one creator, and people have come back to me and said, do you know what? Oh, bless you, Valiant. And people have come back to me and say, do you know what? I used to give that person, but I've just unfollowed them. And I think if I can do that, even if it's one person a week, it's worth doing. Because it's changing stuff. Change doesn't happen overnight. It takes an awful long time. But it starts with one person at a time. Oh, I hope so, Ginger, I really do. But thank you, Vicky. It starts one person at a time, and that's all I can do. I can't do more than I'm doing. Thank you, Vicky. In order to do more than I'm doing, I would then have to compromise my own values, which would be to battle people and to do, you know, to increase my presence on the app. And I'm just not prepared to do it. I can't. For anything. I can't. And for those people who are out there that call me And my mods, they call us bullies, right? We call bullies. Oh, bless you. Yeah, they called us bullies, right? If we were bullies, we would be stalking your pages. We would be picking up on every little comment that you say in connection to any of us, and we would be responding. Okay, we would be taking anything you say about any topic and we would be making fun of you. What we don't do is do that. Oh yeah, we don't do that. What we do is we say what we think, we block, we move on. It's as simple as that. Okay, so either look up the definition of bully, okay, or redefine us as people that do not want to be associated with you. It's as simple as that. Okay, those who need to know who I'm talking to know, so I don't need to say names, and I'm never going to say names because I don't bully. Okay, so we've blocked, we've moved on. Can you say the same? Oh, Violet, how do you feel? That's big. I know when I got diagnosed with one of my disabilities, it was like, yay! Oh, crap. So how are you doing? That's a bit of a roller coaster. I did, Ali. Good night, Donna Sweet. You take care. What the flippity flop planet OTT on? Ugh. Crackers. Crackers. Thank you, Sarah. So I'm just waiting to see how Violet is. Sorry, who has, Nessa? Who's just seen your post, darling? I don't care who I'm behind. Ugh. Oh no, Betty. You miss Boo Boo. Yeah, living with chronic pain. I was actually thinking about doing something very similar to that, actually. Because it would be lovely to have somewhere for people to go where there's none of this pressure and there's none of this keeping your eyes on a swivel, you know, seeing who's coming in and having people talking about you and all that stuff. You take care, Samantha. I have actually thought about that. I'm not sure how I'd do it, but I definitely would. Yeah, Violet, yeah, it's a relief it's not in your head, but goddamn, it's not in my head. Yeah, of course it will, Janine. Am I following you? Yeah, go ahead and message me, not a problem. But yeah, like I said, difficult topic tonight, but I can't not say it. I can't. I'm sorry. I refuse to not say it. Back to work too. Oh yeah, it's Sunday, isn't it? Hey, that's alright, Louie. You're sitting in whatever you've got. Yeah, I think I'll look into that, actually. I'll look into that. Because you don't have to have your face on the screen, do you? You can still be anonymous if you want to be. Oh, Becky. Hi, Emma. 60-hour week. Oh, honey. Green Triangle. Do they still do those? I'm sure they don't. 7 weeks. Oh, yes. I remember. Oh, Squeaky, how long have you had it? Yeah, because I think sometimes, Ali, people like the anonymity, don't they? That you can get on TikTok, so... Yeah. You alright, Frankie? I did not know that. 5.5 years, Sarah. That's amazing. I tell you what, that takes some strength. I'm proud of you, and I hope you've got people around you telling you that they're proud of you as well. That is amazing. Thank you, Yorkshire. Oh, Emma. Mr. Alex, it'll be a one-man and a one-woman protest, let me tell you. Sorry, just catching up. You alright, Frankie, love? Yeah, you make sure you tie that boat down, mister. Cats will keep you awake. I remember the last gale we had up here. I let the dog out. She nearly blew away. Do you know what? You should be proud of yourself, Sarah. I hope you're patting yourself on the back every day. That's amazing what you've done. Honestly, absolutely amazing. The only way I can relate to it is I used to be, you know, on the old sticks, and I stopped nearly 24 years ago. No clue, darling. Thank you, Yorkshire. I stopped nearly 24 years ago, so I can understand how hard stopping something that gives you pleasure, even though it doesn't in the end give you pleasure, can be. It's a real psychological battle. So yeah, you have my absolute utmost respect. Wow, Sarah, that is a lot to tackle and to overcome. So fair play to you. That is, yeah. Oh yeah, it was terrible. I used to do you know what, Diane, please don't say. Do you know how many times, oh, excuse me, do you know how many times I had to try to quit? Thank you, Janine. The number of times I had to try to quit. Right? Well done, Becky. And it was extremely difficult. And it was awful. Because when you fail to quit, you go back even harder because you don't feel you're worthy of trying again. Good night, Glenys, love. Right? There will be that day that you put it down and you don't pick it up. I promise you, there will come a day that you put it down and you don't ever pick it up again. But never beat yourself up. It's alright, Moon Willow. It's alright. Wow. I cut sugar out of my diet for, what, 2.5 weeks ago? Not touched it since. Not in a processed way. Of course it was, Kate. Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely going to go ahead with the recovering from addiction one. Yeah. Yeah, that was sort of the choice I had 2.5 weeks ago. Do you want to carry on, or do you want to stop? You know what I mean? And I thought, well, let's have a quick think about that one. Not so I don't have processed anything, as in chocolate, crisp, none of that. It's gone, all gone. Wow. Oh, fantastic. Followed you back. Thank you. Yeah, no, that would be brilliant. I'd like to look at it because I want to give people who are still struggling and people who have managed to not beat it but live alongside it and acknowledge it and just make that decision daily not to do it. Those people, you know, who can help others. Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, Moonwillow, yeah. Oh, do you know what, Froggy? Oh. Ignore them. Let me tell you something, right? I'm not a medical professional. This is not my thank you. This is trust me, I'm not giving out medical advice. Please seek medical attention if you are in any, don't take my word for it, okay? But I cut sugar out 2.5 weeks ago, and the arthritis in my left knee has been absolutely bagging, and I couldn't feel it before. So whether I'm getting rid of all the sugar out of my system, thank you, Cubster, right? It's an absolute, don't listen. It honestly, I think when it comes to chronic pain, I think the medical profession, a lot of the time, they will use their common sense and say, well, obviously you're not going to hurt as much if you lose weight. It doesn't work that way, I'm afraid. Yes, in some situations that's going to work, right? But in those of us who have, so in the case of fibromyalgia, right, we have pain receptors that are on high alert all the time, right? That is not weight related in any way. It's not weight related, so it doesn't matter. There are people who are very large who have fibro, and there are people who are a size 6 who have fibro. It doesn't make any difference. Will losing weight help type 2 diabetics? 100%. Yeah, but there are some Tess, there are some things that losing weight and all that stuff does not do. Okay? Oh. That's the other thing, Rainbow. Exactly. They'll tell you, well, just lose weight. Well, just how? If I'm struggling to get around and my diet is such that I don't eat much anyway, you tell me. If you can make it happen, fabulous. Pass it on to me and I'll do it. It's such a vicious circle, isn't it? Yeah, Kay, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Honestly, my left knee has given me nothing but grief. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, second. Exactly, Moonwillow. Exactly that. Honestly, I have... Wow, Joe. Flippin' heck. Exactly, Jem. Exactly this. But try telling them. Has anybody else had this problem? They go to the doctors and they have to explain the condition to the doctor. right? Or the endocrine, say the consultant even, I've had to do this. I've had to explain the condition to the consultant, and even then they don't get it. And I'm like, how many years have you been in medicine? How many years has this been your speciality? And I am telling you things you don't know. God help us. Oh, drives me posse. Oh, Anne-Marie, I feel you, honey. Janine, it's insane. It's insane to me. So the way I get treated is I have something called Hashimoto's, which is not the same as an underactive thyroid. So an underactive thyroid doesn't produce enough thyroxine, right? Hashimoto's is where your body attacks your thyroid, therefore you don't produce enough thyroxine. It's totally different. Both autoimmune conditions, but it's totally different. Underactive is normally associated with older people, older even than me, and Hashimoto's totally different. Oh, do you, Joe? Bless you. Right? So then I have to go and see a consultant, and I have to explain to him the difference, that there is a difference. And it's like, what are you not understanding? It's a recognised medical condition that isn't underactive thyroid. Oh.